G'day, welcome to the MacPack.
We're back.
My name's Jake McKenna, and to my left this week, in order of the man on the panel who has vomited the most recently, is my little brother Joe. How are you, Joe boy?
Yes, Riley made me laugh so much that I vomited just before we hit the record button.
And to my right, coming in at 6'1", as he does each and every week, it's the baby brother of the pack, who we call Junior Boy. Junior Boy, how are you, mate?
We'll tell you all about the situation that happened right before the mics came on, but not what the joke was.
Ooh. Yeah, the joke is
It's an inside joke.
The joke will be remain censored. Censored edition. Boys, to kick things off this week, we are discussing a few different things. We've got price matching to kick things off. We've got a bit of a Quokka update.
The Quokkas are back, baby.
I'm showing you an old Australian ad that at the time would have been fine, but now not as fine. Plus, we also have... What? I can't even read that.
Car chat.
Car chat.
Hell yeah.
And right, Joey's got a musical hero, boys. It's a massive hit. Let's get into it. Boys.
Brother Mingos.
How are we all well?
I'm feeling fresh after my shower.
To set the scene, before we jumped to the studio, ready to go tonight, we had we quickly went through our run sheet as we always do, and then immediately wrote down things that we can't read, as you would have noticed in the intro.
CPR chat.
Yeah, I genuinely, the amount of times that I look down at my writing, and it's just like, fuck, it is as much of a guess for me as it is for anyone else. We were basically ready to rumble. I was about to jump into the chair.
I was about to turn the camera on, which sucks.
There was probably just hot ticket should have.
And I was ready to have a sip of water. Delicious, refreshing water.
And Riley got off one of the great jokes that has ever been told. An extension of a previous joke. I think we were sort of one-upping ourselves.
Yeah, it's a running gag, and I thought I'd take it to that extra level.
Oh, and you absolutely did.
Get one in early.
And it was appreciated.
And appreciated. It's probably the highest form of flattery. Joey's sitting here, loved the joke so much that he then choked on his water.
Yeah, I was really choking.
And then
And I was trying to keep I didn't want to spit water all over the desk.
Oh, you
just spat it all down the front of your chest.
Yeah.
And then you gave us those eyes of like...
Yeah, happening. It's over. It's absolutely
We on.
And then you proceeded to vomit on yourself, which was like quite a gross thing to witness.
Well, I sacrificed my hand to save the desk.
It looked like something had
I vomited straight in my hand. I basically placed it into my hand.
It was fucked. It was like something had actually happened to you that went real bad.
All just ate dinner 25 minutes ago.
Yeah, Zambies.
So it had
Zambros.
barely even made its way down, let alone back up.
Anyway, here we are. So Joe went and had a quick shower. You're all good from all reports. You don't look good. You're not filling me with heaps of confidence. Not filling me with heaps of confidence, but there you go. Most recent vomit goes to Joey boy. Hey, when was the last time you vomited before that?
Good question. When was the last time I vomited before that? Probably a while ago.
Because I'm over a year and a bit now. Like I'm pushing.
I know I was really sick for like a week this year. I don't know if I vomited that time though.
My last one was in over a year. Wow. If this actually, yeah, if I can get through the end of this year, I wouldn't have vomited this year.
Wow.
Which will be the first time in a long time that's the case.
When you're a kid, I feel like you vomit all the time. But then when you become an adult, it's only really like alcohol related.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
why is that? Tummy gets stronger.
yeah, it must be. And when you're a kid, you're just sick all the time.
Yeah, when you're a kid, you're sick way more than you are.
I guess food poisoning is another one.
Yeah, but I've been
For a
very
bomb.
fortunate. I haven't vomited this year, so fingers crossed over the next couple of days.
When we were doing Body Madge, it was a weekly event.
It was a daily event at one point.
Yeah, daily. Yeah.
Yeah, that was grim. I literally, that's so true. Yeah, so it's been nice.
That could have been the last time you vomited.
But you have sharted a lot this year.
Yeah, well, sharding is
It's a different thing.
it's the
Yeah.
next hurdle.
Just one
The next turtle.
one at a time.
I was at Prees yesterday to go to a Sunday sesh, and one of my mates did a vom. Like he stood up from the couch and just projectile vomited.
What?
But 5 minutes before that, he went and did a poo. And my other friend said,
How do you know that? None of my
'Cause
mates
he
would
announced.
announce. Yeah,
he
lads,
said, I'll be back going to
It's
do
a
a poo.
doozy.
And it was his house.
No, his girlfriend's house. But then
Oh, okay.
when he came back, one of my others, and then he threw up. One of my other friends was
Were
like,
you inside?
Well, no, because he threw up and it was just like liquid. It was like liquid projectile from drinking. And then my other friend said it was probably liquid because he just pooed out all the solids.
Don't think that's.
That's not how. That's not how.
I was like,
It's not a filter system.
I whispered to my mate who was next to me, a different friend. I was like, I don't know if that's how it works. He was like, just let him have it.
Just let him have it.
Let him have this one.
Fantastic.
Boys, during the week was fortunate enough to pick up a Ninja Creamy.
Whoa.
A Ninja Creamy.
Now,
What is that?
I'm not going to lie. I think a lot of young TikTok ladies seem to be
Okay.
very invested in their...
They love a creamy.
They're
Ninja-
cramming on their grammars.
So I went... Anyway, I've seen a lot of videos online and it's piqued my interest. You can make...
Yep.
I love an ice cream. Probably too much. Love a cold, like a sorbet.
Oh, I had a sorbet yesterday.
I love a sorbet.
Great for this hot weather.
Yeah, and this thing does all of them, and I'm absolutely loving my time with said Ninja Creamy. Arguably one of the best things I've bought this year.
So what you been making? Like what type of ice cream?
We've done the best so far, and very simple, but in this climate in particular,
Ice.
well, watermelon,
Yep, good.
completely mashed up,
Sorbet.
put in the Ninja Creamy, and then makes it into a sorbet. So I had
Wow.
and then so that
Magic, dude.
so it was like watermelon and orange
Oh,
sorbet.
Good.
Wow. How
Good
does it do
crack.
that?
And at the moment, I've got what have we got? A tropical crush drink, but with
Yeah, yeah.
real strawberries diced up and in there as well. So that's the next sorbet.
Are you bringing that over on Christmas Day?
I wasn't planning on it, but we'll see how we go.
You should. That'd be lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
that's
isn't-
true.
I don't like pavlova. So,
But they
I'll
have to bring
a
the whole
sorbet.
have to bring the whole machine. Like it's something that you have
How
to.
big's the machine? Like a
6 kilos.
Oh.
So it's
Sorry, I can help
it's
with
taking
it
up
if you do.
the whole room in his house.
Do you want me to spot you?
Anyway,
6 kg.
I was there. I was looking for this said device, and we went with the deluxe model. I'm
Hey,
oh,
must be very
yeah.
not
nice.
one to skimp and just get the
Not one to
standard.
gimp.
Yeah.
Not one to skimp and get the standard model. So we went the deluxe model. It was only a couple $100 more. But
What? That's not.
What the fuck?
I think
What's the base product?
base product.
10 grand.
And 3 kilos.
So the base product was, let's say, I think they.
Couple of
Well, this is the thing. The price is rather fluid, so you can pick them up if you want for about the standard model. Like, let's say $260 is probably what you could get it for, right?
Yep.
Now the deluxe model, it retails for closer to $500, but
And what is it doing?
differently.
it's just got a few more settings and bigger tubs, so you can do like
More ice cream.
more with less, less hassle, and you can do top and bottom. So what it does is
What does that mean?
what it does is like once you've got, I didn't want to spend too long on this. This isn't necessarily what we're talking about, but the deluxe model, if you put like a whole pint in, the standard
Yeah.
model, once you hit go, it's doing the whole lot. With the deluxe model, you can just say just do the top. And so it'll just cut the top and like
Okay.
make that creamy.
Wow.
You spoon that all out
This
because
is
the
crazy.
big one's 700 mil. That's a lot of ice cream for one
That is,
person
yeah.
to sit and
And
eat.
you said you need to
in
have it
one sitting.
instantly.
Yeah, because it
Because
doesn't
you've ballooned out of it.
because it doesn't necessarily refreeze.
You've
like,
added 6 kilos.
in a week, just all watermelon juice. I'm just
Yeah.
pumping up watermelon sugar.
Hi.
What about the seeds?
Yeah.
All right, we'll get on.
What I want to bring up. So the actual model is about $500, but
Yeah.
I had a look. I could get it for about $370. Okay,
Yeah.
Ooh,
That's
by
good.
Jane.
so it's not that much of a big jump to get the deluxe versus the standard.
Stando.
And then I went to our good friends at the Good Guys. Good friends at the Good Guys, right?
Na 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 na.
Oh yeah,
Na,
yeah,
na, na.
yeah. That's good.
It's their song,
It is their song.
The Beach Boys.
Isn't it? You're giving me.
Yeah, that's what it was
da, da,
doing.
da. It's the same. Different songs can have more than one bit.
And I went there, and they do price matching,
Price match.
which is I just find that
Good.
What is that? What is the price matching? I don't understand. Why do they do it? Why does anyone do price
So
matching?
the best example is like a shop like EB Games.
Yeah.
So, for example, up at the shops near our house, there's an EB Games, which just sells video games, and then there's a Big W, which sells tons of crap.
Correct.
So they can sell their video games a bit cheaper because it's like, we're also selling Freddos. Like, we're selling tons of stuff.
Yeah.
We can make a bit less money on the video games, but it's all good.
Because we're
Where if
making
EB Games is like doing cheaper video games, they're like, we're fucking going under.
Yeah, because we don't have any Freddos.
So they'd prefer.
They would prefer to sell it higher, but they would prefer...
You go.
They don't want
there.
people to go to Big W instead.
Okay.
So they will price match with Big W.
But is it worthwhile just walking into any Good Guys shop, no matter what item you want to buy, and just saying, "Oh man, and can you just price match that?"
Yeah.
Well, you need to have an example.
You've got to find it online.
Well, you think you do, and I thought I did.
Yeah.
But I walked into the Good Guys, and I did have an example. Maya was doing it only like $20 cheaper than what the Good Guys had it listed as, right? And I was like, "Oh, big dog, can you price match this for me?" He goes, "Yeah, absolutely, man, no worries. Whereabouts?" And I said, "Oh, I think Maya doing it about $20 cheaper." He goes, "Yeah, no worries. All right, I'll have a look now." And then I want you guys to tell me, it was lovely to me, but would he be getting in trouble for this? Because he was just like, "Oh, dude, Harvey Norman doing them for $297." And I was like, firstly, like I'd looked around because I knew this price match, so I was trying to find the cheapest one so I could show it. $297. I would look at Harvey Norman. $297 at Harvey Norman. Not a thing. Like they weren't doing
the standard.
They were not doing $297.
Yeah, you sure he wasn't looking at the standard?
I have no idea, but I panicked in my head. I was like, that doesn't sound right. And then in my head, while all this happening, I'm like, I must have misheard him. I reckon he thinks Harvey Norman are doing $397, and I was like, "Oh no, but Maya's doing $359," and he just went,
Yeah, but this number's less.
That's what he said. He goes, "Yeah, but Harvey Norman's doing $297," and I was like, "Yeah, man, that's way better. Hey, let's just do that." Then so he looked at me like I was a fucking halfwit.
Yeah.
But my whole question is he meant to be doing that?
Well, funny that you mentioned this because literally yesterday I did a price match.
Right.
Oh, actually.
And we were standing, so we were at a Harvey Norman.
I'm nervous. This isn't my gift. This isn't my...
No.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I'm going to tell you.
Oh, well, mate, you've done dumber things than that. You just vomited all over yourself.
That's where he draws the line.
Shut up. But you know, that gift can still be taken back.
Yeah, true.
So me and Kira went to get a gift for her dad.
Okay.
It was the massage chair that
Spoilers.
Dad has.
Yeah, we've done... Yeah, spoilers.
He's already got it. You got it yesterday.
Oh, congratulations.
It's all good. And also this comes out after Christmas, so it's all good. So we went to get that, and we went to Harvey Norman, but we had found it online, but it was like on the brand's shop.
Yes, okay.
So it wasn't like another shop.
So
It
you're
was
going
like,
straight through the supplier.
Yeah. So we get there and we're like, okay, we've got this price match. Well, it's worth asking.
Yeah.
You know? So I got to the guy. We got the thing. It's like there. It's like 160 on the price match thing. It's 129.
Yeah.
So they save $30 or whatever. So I showed the guy. I'm like, oh, do you guys price match? We've got it on the brand website. It's 129. He's like, ooh, let me have a look. And yeah, he looked at it and then he was like clicking on it. But we were standing, you know, like sometimes they have the computer in the store.
Yeah,
you know, at
that's
a
where I
till.
was, yeah.
So we're standing next to him and we can see like the screen that he's looking at. And he's like looking up the price match thing. And then he's like looking at it. He goes, oh, the best I can do is 131, which is like $2 more than the price match.
Oh, that's fine, yeah.
But it must be like there's some limit, which is like, if we do this, we're still making money.
Well, I thought that like they were only able to compare stores that are brick and mortar, for example, as well. Because
That's what I thought.
Because you can get like, oh yeah, man, I can find it on eBay as well for $12, but they're not price matching that.
That's what I thought. But this guy just found it, and then he just typed in 131.
Well, what I can't understand, and we'll leave it on this, but the guy who price matched me, like, where did he even get that? Firstly, thank you so much for doing that because it was $70 cheaper than what I initially was going to pay. But secondly, where
is he getting?
Where'd you
do they
find
have
that?
a big register
Because
of everyone who's come in with
it
the
was
price
fucking
match?
incorrect as well. I don't know where he found that info. I walked out to my car and I was like, that's the Harvey Norman one, and that's how much it cost.
So
I
if
could
you
not
wanna-
find it at all.
Wait, and how much do you say these retail for? Maybe we could go to this place, buy them.
And then
And then-
resell them.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's a good. Maybe we could become profitable.
Righty, Junior Boys, you got a little bit of news from across of the micro Dutch.
The micro Dutch. That's right, boys.
The island. He's got Ireland news.
I've got Ireland news.
Rottenest Ireland.
That's right, boys. Boys, quokkas have been spotted in the Perth Hills.
Beg your.
What? No,
Beg
they
your
haven't.
what?
That's right. Not at their not at their home, Rottnest Island.
And that's not even like on the seaboard.
No, they've
It's
made
the
it.
hills.
They've made it across water and then travelled uphill.
They crossed Tonkin Highway.
That's right. I don't know how they've done it, but they've done it.
No.
Whereabouts? When? Who? Where? How?
So this group called the BNAA discovered the quokkas a week ago.
Okay.
And then they took a photo of it in the dead of night. And they're not revealing the specific location of where it is so that people don't go and try and visit them or hurt them or anything.
How many is there?
Enough.
Was it 2? Is it Noah's Ark?
Well, there's enough for reproduction and there to be a group of them
Quokkas.
hanging out.
They're not tiny kangaroos.
No, they're quokkas.
But how do they get here? Because they don't swim.
No.
Is it a kidnap job?
Well, that's the thing. That's the question I want to ask. Like, how did they get here? Did someone grab a male and a female quokka, tuck them in their bag, get on the Rottnest ferry and come over, go up to the hills and say...
Or if these,
Go on.
maybe they've always been there, but they're just sneaky. Who knows?
Well, yeah.
There's quendas. So quendas in WA look very similar to a quokka.
No, these are confirmed quokka. These aren't gwendas. I know what a
Quokkas
gwenda
are
is.
so round. They really are.
Sounds like a man who's tried to kick one. That's
It's
what that sounds
obviously
like.
because we were talking about we were talking about Quokka soccer at work the other day, and obviously
There
it's
we go.
wrong.
What's quokka soccer?
Have you not heard of Quokka soccer? No, it's not. It's not like.
It's not an official
There's
league.
It's not in the
There's
Olympics.
no,
Yeah.
not yet, not yet.
But it's in the Ozempics.
Yeah, it's Champions League.
Speaking of Ozempic,
it's not Premier.
quokkas should be on Ozempic.
Quokka soccer is occasionally a drunk tourist or bogan or some degenerate.
sometimes both, all of the above.
Will
Punter
kick a quokka.
Punter Quokka.
it's
Have you not ever heard of that?
No,
and
People have been
occasionally it does
arrested.
become an organised
Yeah,
Sport.
people have been arrested for kicking quokkas.
for playing quokka soccer.
Quokka soccer. They've
Although
named it.
the rhyme
if
is
you
right
were
there.
if you were, yeah, exactly. The rhyme, the shape, it's a soccer ball shape.
That's so funny.
Like, obviously, it's wrong and stuff, but like, if you're gonna kick an animal, it is the perfect day.
Fuck me.
and the good thing about the quokka is
That's
that
it. Joe's our resident vegan vegetarian.
Yeah.
And
I'm
he's
not
just
saying
out,
it's right.
And he's
I'm
just out here being like, my goal for 2025 is to be pretty good at quokka soccer.
Yeah.
Go professional with the old quokka soccer.
Well, look, if you're gonna go pro,
you want to be the Sam Kerr of quokka
yeah,
soccer.
you don't make an omelette without kicking a few quocks.
What does that even mean? But yeah, they're not very like, so they'll take a kick and they won't fight back.
All right,
they're
let's
so
go back to chatting
domesticated.
about them being in the hills. before
Anyway,
we get
but I'm worried about quokkas being in the hills because they're so like domesticated and fine with humans petting them and stuff.
And other
Imagine a
things.
fox or a dingo just coming up on that thing.
Are they living at someone's house?
No, they're in the bush. They're in the wild.
The thing is about being in Rottnest, there's not many things that can kill a quokka other than a casual footballer.
Yeah.
But like, if they are,
That's
as you
why-
mentioned, if they are out in the wild in an area that isn't necessarily native to them, that can be quite dangerous quite quickly.
Well, maybe that's why they are at Rottnest, because there's nothing else there to hurt them. So maybe they were everywhere and then they died
Oh.
out.
Apparently, they have come across the Dutch before,
Right.
and they've come to
But
the
how?
mainland. No one knows.
They're not swimming.
When we
The
were
issue
Can't
is-
swim. I couldn't swim.
when
that
we were
far.
kids, right? This is what we were taught in school. We learn things where a
Curriculum.
teacher is there to teach you. You know nothing. The teacher apparently knows everything.
There's like
So
a
when they tell you
23-year-old
something-
lady though. Keep
Yeah,
that in
but
mind.
their job is to tell you shit.
Yeah, but we do
So
that.
you don't need to fact check it. It's their job. And we were told by a teacher whose job it is to educate children that quokkas are small because when a kangaroo, they would swim to Rottnest
A kangaroo would swim to Rottnest.
and they would shrink from the water. And I believe this because, again, my teacher who taught me math and how to read.
But you got a 97 ATAR, so
Yeah, but this is when I was like 8.
wow.
But
She
they were
reckons
like,
that kangaroos. Firstly, have you ever seen a kangaroo do a backstroke?
I think she was taking the piss.
You'd have to be right.
We will get her name in between the breaks, I think.
But there you go. Quokkas have made it, boys. Do you reckon they'll last?
I'm intrigued to see.
I
I'm
don't know.
intrigued to hear more.
We could get a game of quokka soccer going up in the
I
hill.
wouldn't have thought so. Would not have thought so. Righty, boys, it's coming up on about a whole year now since we did the Ad Man game. I don't know if you guys remember this.
He's the ad man.
We did it outside. We did it outside. That's how I can remember. It was just about a year ago.
Blimey.
We haven't done it since. I don't know why, but we'll definitely be bringing it back. Much like many things that we say we'll be bringing it back. What we're going to look at today is an ad that was on in 2001 from memory. I'm just going to show it to you, and I just want to get you guys' thoughts. If
You remember it was being on TV?
yeah, well, it's it's on a I'll tell you about the ins and outs of it later. But what I will say is that if you are listening to this I might screen record it come Friday, and I'll share it as part of our social media post. In addition to that, if you are watching on YouTube or if you want to watch this segment on YouTube, I would heavily suggest it because we'll talk through exactly what's going on as we play it. Easy enough?
Yep, let's
All
do
right,
it,
fellas.
baby.
What's the easiest way to show you what's going on? If I just place it there, play it through the caster, and we sussed. All right.
Yep.
Here we go.
Perfection.
Here, play it. It only goes for 30 seconds. Once it's done, we're gonna have to pull it shut. Here we go.
Something reminds you to phone Hong Kong? With Telstra Homeline Plus, you can chat for the first 10 minutes for just $1. So now you can call more often.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yes. Yeah. That's interesting.
So what we saw
we'll have
there
to tell
was-
what we saw was open. There's a sandwich
Yeah.
and a bee or a
A
fly.
fly, I think it was. Yeah.
And then you've got a classic
Guy was
man on
on the
barbecue,
barbecue.
and then the fly flies around.
Yep. And then
He starts swatting it as if he was doing like a
Kung Fu.
martial art. Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay. A martial art of sorts. And then it cuts to a Asian woman
yeah, that's
who's
fine.
presumed to be from Hong Kong,
Hong Kong potentially.
which is what the tagline of the ad was.
Yep.
That was Telstra. 13 was the...
20.
Not sure, but the ad then goes on to say like, "Oh, does something remind you to phone Hong Kong?"
There's something.
It is part of a
And
series.
then he's calling the Hong Kong lady at the end.
It's part of a
No,
series.
the,
I'll
the
show
Hong
you.
Kong lady is calling
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
But the whole concept is like
Oh,
the whole.
She's going, oh shit.
that
I know
does-
That's
call
reminding
Hong
me of Hong Kong. Because he's doing the martial
A martial
art.
art, which could be
any.
from around.
Okay, while you guys are skating on thin ice, it's part of a series because there's another one here that I'll show you.
We're doing the full
We're
Hong
going
Kong
to.
series.
We're going to go the whole campaign, right? They'll get you to do exactly what you did before.
Different country? Or
Joe, here we go. Well, let's find out.
how's the sound? Ready?
Go.
3, 2, 1.
Co-auto repairer. Something remind you to phone New Zealand? With Telstra Homeline Plus, you
Ooh,
can
that's
chat for the
bad.
first 10 minutes
That
for
one's
just
bad.
$1. So now you can call more often.
Okay. I'll take the reins this way.
Rip in, Joey.
So there is a man
Who looks
sitting,
a lot like Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, he does.
He
Yeah,
does,
good looking man.
actually.
And he's sitting on the couch. There's a burst of fire coming from the room next to him, presumably a kitchen. A man then jumps out,
And he's
he,
burnt. He's clearly.
He has ash from the fire on his
Yes.
face.
He's got his tongue out
He is on fire.
and he's slapping his body.
Yeah,
As
to
I-
stop the fire.
Which-
So he's slapping
slapping his body.
his elbow, his
knee,
knee,
with
with his tongue is out.
He's screaming.
And he's a bigger dude.
He does appear to be, from the image we've got, he does appear to be, under the ash, he does appear to be Caucasian, would you say?
I'd say,
Hard to
yeah.
judge
Hard to judge.
Hard
but
to
because
judge.
of the ash.
yeah, fair enough. Okay, fair enough.
But it
Yeah.
looks like, I'm assuming from the, just something remind you to call New Zealand, it seems as if he could, his reaction to the fire, and, oh, it's hot in here. It's him slapping around and tapping his arm.
a bit
It's
like
the haka.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that seems to be what they're going for. I just wonder
Let's break that down.
how these two ads, this whole campaign, quite I would say for the times,
Oh, perfectly fine.
writing would
What
be
year was this?
2001. There would have been a
Oh,
lot
okay.
of execs from creative agencies being like,
Bravo.
"You guys have got it. That's really funny. I like that a lot." I just don't know if that would get a run in 2024.
I think the
What would stop it?
ash on the face would be
Ash on
a
the
no.
Well, that would be blackface,
Yeah, I think you can
Could
say
be.
ash
Say
face.
ashy
Ash
face.
face.
ash face, and then him doing what is presumed to be the haka.
It was a pretty poor man's version as well. Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
You're not going to get anyone from New Zealand who's going to claim that and go, "Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty
and
accurate."
it's interesting because like they could have gone, okay, you're doing this ad campaign. You could do something like a Lord of the Rings,
anything
something
else.
like
Yeah.
that, where they've gone with the haka, which is like a culturally significant thing,
Yeah.
and then also the martial arts stuff, which
Basically, if there is a channel, a cheap laugh, a cheap pathway to some sort of generalization about a nation, it seems like they're going to go, "That's our one word. That's what we're going to do."
yeah,
And that's Australia's leading telecommunications company, Telstra.
Telstra.
Just doing its thing.
Oh, yeah.
Do we like that kind of advertising?
I like watching it back because it's
If that aired today, what would you think?
Oh, I don't think it would.
Telstra's brave.
Alrighty, boys. This one comes from me a little bit earlier during the week. Now, what took place was I'm just going to explain to you a bit of a situation, and I just want to get your thoughts on the whole concept. Right?
Run us through it. Run us through the sitch.
So I was on my way back from work. I was just in my and the details are a little bit important.
He's a working class man.
I was in my Maestro 6.
Oh,
He's a Mazda 6 man.
And it would have cost me that car maybe 17 grand from memory. Not
He's
a
a
heap.
well-off man.
Not
This episode, you've spent $16,500 on a car
I didn't buy it
most
this
of that is the
week.
car.
and
It's
the blender,
It's not a blender.
the Ninja McCreamer, the Ninja McCream, which is what I heard your nickname was prior to.
Now I'm on my way home from work, and we're traveling at around. Okay, so the speed limit is 60.
Yep.
It was busy. We're doing less than that. We're doing 55ish.
He's a
okay?
safety
Yeah.
driving man.
Oh, well, we were banked up. We were banked up.
He
on
was
the
bricked
way-
up. I mean,
He was bricked up
on
while
the
creaming. I want to get home and cream.
hang on, cream going 55.
and I'm driving along, and then we're in.
I spent 16 grand on this car. I don't want to drive slow.
Well, that's what we're going to get to, because as I'm driving, we're in dual lane traffic. This is not a one lane operation.
Yeah,
This is the
Jewel lane. Jewel was a fake brand.
This is going to be a long segment. If every sentence I say, we find something
He's a
to take.
vaping man.
And to my right,
To the left,
there was an individual in a car that was the same color as Joe's shirt here,
Turquoise.
turquoise, and he was in a very low riding Lamborghini.
King.
Fuck yeah. Oh, I didn't know you drove past me the other day.
Drew.
Driven.
And so he's sitting to my right, and I just he had all his windows down, which is
What song was
Yeah.
he playing?
2 windows.
Working class man.
And I was just sort of perched up, and I was obviously we're going pretty slowly, and I've just had a look at his car, and he's checked that I've looked at his car. I'm not a car guy. Like, I could give a fuck what sort of car he was driving. He had his sunnies on. He was looking like a real fucking G unit. And he sort of turned to me and he was just like,
That's what's up, bro.
gave me like a real nod.
He
And
probably has 3 Ninja Creamers.
and
at
I-
home.
Yeah. He's got the super deluxe, no price match needed.
and I just laughed, like at him. I guess like he did that, and then I just sort of laughed because he then left a small gap between him and the car in front, but big enough that he could accelerate and then immediately brake. Like, he really wanted to show to me that he
0
could.
to 60.
Yeah, but the issue was we were all going the same speed to the point where I actually overtook him at 58 kilometers an hour. So my Mazda 6 2013 model
Hell yeah.
went quicker for a period, went faster than said Lamborghini. And I do wonder what that sort of situation would be like for somebody. I was trying to think of different scenarios whereby you have all the power, all the speed, for example, in the world at your disposal, but you're stuck doing 50 because you're in Main Street, Perth.
Right.
So when are you ever, let's say, I have no idea, let's say max speed on a Lambo is 300k, right? The whole point of purchasing that car, because it was small, it was small, it had 1 passenger seat, and it only had 2 windows. So like, it's not, you're not putting a family in the back or anything like that, right? The whole concept of that car is to go quick.
Yep. That's what it's made for. It's
But
a sports car.
where the fuck does he get to go? He can do 100 on the freeway with me.
110 occasionally.
I don't think he's taken out to the country though.
Yeah. Oh, he's not going.
I wouldn't have thought so. He's going 4-wheel driving in the Lamborghini.
Yeah, but you could say the same thing about your car. Your car could go max 200.
Yeah, but I didn't spend anywhere near the amount that he just spent on the said car, right?
Mm.
I'm just trying to think of what it would be the equivalent of. It's like I
It's
don't
like
know.
having a Ninja Creamer, but only having Go-Gurt. You know what I mean? Every day you look at it and you go, I don't have time. I'm going to grab my Go-Gurt.
Yeah, I guess
You know?
in the weirdest way possible.
Like not fulfilling the full capacity of what could be achieved.
Yeah. And I just don't think there's many other things, but like that car. So you have to walk into the place. I don't know even how much it would have cost. Let's say, what, 200,000 for a Lambo?
A turquoise Lambo.
If it was really new, yeah.
Okay. Let's say you walk into
Still
the shop.
probably at least $100,000.
Let's say you walk
for a
into the
car,
shop. I think it's going to be more than $100,000.
I genuinely have no idea.
Imagine walking into the shop knowing you're going to drop 200K on a car that then you take out from the shop.
Like it's more
And
for
then
the
you have to proceed to do 70K. It's like, that would be so frustrating for me.
I think it's more about
status.
they want people to see them in the car.
But I
Which
laughed.
going slow is good.
But I
because then more-
laughed. But I laughed at him
Well,
because
that's
it was.
probably what annoyed him.
But I was like, well, this isn't impressive because you're not using the thing.
Yeah, I do think. Yeah, like fancy cars. It's just so like, who cares? You know.
But I can't think of a single like comparison where you could have all the skill or all the requirements in the world, but it's always going to be capped.
Yeah, that's true.
It's almost like
Legally
say you're
capped.
playing like say you're LeBron James and you're the
Yeah.
most athletic basketballer of all time, right? You can dunk from anywhere, and
Yeah.
then they just go, "Oh yeah, by the way, you're not allowed to dunk
No
anymore."
dunking.
Like you've got all this power, all this potential, that's just been squashed.
This is true.
Or it would be like if you were really tall, but every house was tiny.
Yeah, essentially.
And it's
So you'd
like,
always have
you're
to be
tall,
sitting.
which is great.
But
But in this case,
not great.
Not so good.
Anyway, moral of the story is
Think
the Mazda 6 was quicker than the Lambo.
hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Alrighty, that just about brings us to the end of another episode of The Pod. But before we do that, it is time for our favourite weekly segment. It's our only weekly segment. It's time for our Everyday Hero. Joey, throwing it over to you.
Yeah, so this week I've been thinking about Christmas music. Obviously, Christmas had just happened. If you're listening to this, Christmas has happened, but current timeline, Christmas hasn't happened. But I've been listening to a lot of Christmas music, and it reminded me of we used to have a Christmas piano recital, basically. End of year piano recital.
You did too, yeah. How many years did you play piano for, Joey?
Good question. I think I started when I was in like year 3 or year 4, and I played until I was in like year 7.
He's doing what we mentioned a few weeks ago,
And
where I
then
ask a question and then you proceed to tell me a tale, and then you make me question, what did I actually ask?
By 4 years.
That's
4 or
all I
5
needed.
years,
Yeah, didn't care that much. Oh,
And then
yeah,
he starts
then-
vomiting.
Sorry, it's just this is embarrassing.
I actually remember where your old piano teacher lives.
That's creepy,
Do you guys
man.
remember still?
Yeah, I do. I could ballpark. I couldn't tell you which house, but I know like the surrounds.
I could pull up.
Yeah. So there's something funny about
What's
that.
her name
right?
again?
Joanne.
Wow, we doing
Full
this.
name.
We
I
doing
don't know her
this.
full name.
I'll drop her
trying
out.
to find her.
You drop the full name. Her name's Joanne.
I think she's
Full name.
probably
No, she'll be fine. She'll be going all right. She'll
I
still
think
be
she
living
moved
there.
down south
Oh, did she?
because her son eventually took over the practice,
Wow.
and he was chill. He was more.
Do you call it a practice? I've only ever heard of a GP doctor
Yeah,
being
true,
called
yeah.
a practice.
The
They would also do dentistry. He was more of a rock and roll guy.
Really?
Was
Yeah.
he? Can you do rock and roll classical piano?
Johnny be good.
No, he taught me how to play Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh. The whole thing?
But that's not
the
a very
whole
rock
thing,
and
yeah.
roll song.
Oh, just the.
It's by,
dun, dun.
by Queen, by Freddie. Freddie is rock and roll.
Freddie
baby.
is, but
Hey.
yeah, okay.
Anyways, piano recital. Hey, that was a good time. I remember going to that little hall in Rossmoyne.
Yes, I do
Yeah.
remember going there as
Again,
well.
with the location.
I could actually
right?
go.
He knows a lot
I can tell you where that
I could
was.
take you back there as well.
Yeah, look at you. What a
And
genius.
kill. I don't know.
Joanne.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh,
Joe,
God.
she's the hero, isn't she?
Anne.
She is the hero.
Do you know that's your full name?
Yeah, my middle name is Anne.
Joseph Anne.
Anne.
Joe and
How dare you? So Joanne, she was a legend. All the students would come.
Fuck yes, dude.
what is happening?
Joe.
What is happening
Anne.
at this practice? What is happening?
So all the students would be practicing all year, and they would pick a song, and they were going to nail the song at the recital. It's the most important day because it's the only day you meet the other students.
Yeah,
Oh,
true. What
true.
songs? How many?
The most famous one I played was Pink Panther.
Yeah, I remember that. The
That
crowd
was a
loved that
classic.
shit. Don't you remember when you started playing it?
Bam.
Weren't you playing something before that? or you just rocked up and you was like, someone played some shit like Beethoven or some shit, and you walked up and you were like, ba-dum, bum, ba-da-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum.
That's not it.
that's
No,
not
it's
it.
bum 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 bum.
Yeah, that's it. And the metronome was going.
Ba-dum, ba-dum.
Yeah, that's what you have to. You used to get the metronome. She used to set the metronome up.
Yeah.
Shout
The
out
metronome is the metronome winning the hero.
Ba-dum, ba-dum. Yeah, I played that stanky as fuck.
Stinky beat.
You get a few kids who like lose track of their finger placements, and the metronomes just whack out of time all of a sudden. They're just forging on, trying to catch up to the metronome.
Yeah, shut up. Yeah, but it's obviously hard because obviously when you're doing piano, right, you know the person who's before you and the person who's after you.
In the lessons, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and that's
true,
it.
yep.
You don't know the other students, right? But occasionally, the other students may get a mention in your lesson.
Wow.
And it's always a
wish-
bit of a, like
That-
there's a lot of chatting. Think about doing a musical instrument, a lot of chatting.
A lot of
A lot
chatting.
of chatting.
But how old are you?
Year
10.
Yeah, like 8.
So they're probably
So
Yeah.
much chatting you do.
No, she would talk to mum.
Oh.
And I'm just sitting there like, excuse me,
I remember
I need to learn Pink Panther.
The
Actually,
metronome's going.
I remember like playing on the floor while you were doing that. Like, I used
Yeah.
to like play shit on the floor. I can't remember what.
How old were you? So
she had
you were, like,
toys.
She had
in the
toys,
room.
yeah.
For you.
Yeah, and I would sometimes sit in there. Like mum would watch, and then I would sit there playing with shit.
It was just in her house, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And Joe's just going, bottom, bottom.
Pretty cruisy gig. Like
Very cruisy.
you could teach someone how to play on this piano, surely.
How much would a
You could
lesson be?
teach her. You could teach people what she taught you.
Yeah, I tried to teach Riley piano.
Yeah, yeah.
How they
He
go.
didn't have it.
Yeah, the do or you don't, apparently, mate.
It turns out you need to play a bit more than 2 years before you start imparting your wisdom onto
Yeah.
young children.
That's what we tried to do. We were trying to do a syndicate where
Yeah,
Joe
and
would
then
go to a
Riley-
lesson
yeah.
and I would learn
Yeah,
simultaneously.
and Riley was paying me.
Bottom, bottom.
But yeah, you know, there's a lot of pressure on the recital day because, especially in the lead up, she's saying, "Oh yeah, this kid's going to be playing Moonlight Sonata, and this kid's going to be playing Jingle Bells, and this kid's going to be," and you're thinking, "Oh shit, is Pink Panther really all that? Can Pink Panther compete?"
With Beethoven's
Bait?
Fifth Symphony.
Yeah, and don't get me started on Mozart. So there's a lot of pressure if you're a kid and you're playing, and it's in front of a lot of people,
Yeah, well,
parents, your peers.
a lot of nans are
yeah.
at these events as well. A lot of grandparents. It's
Yeah.
really up there,
It's there.
up their alleyway.
Yeah,
isn't it?
and then you know you're ready to get up there, and then some like 4-year-old will go up there and absolutely
Just-
nail with the
yeah.
6th, and it's like, huh? When did he learn that?
In the womb?
Yeah, and I'm thinking, look, he doesn't even have to go to school. He's in kindy. Of course, if I didn't have to go to kindy, I could play the 6th.
See,
But-
he's doing that. You're playing with the blocks. Get up there,
Yeah.
big dog.
But it's a lot of pressure. You go up there and you play, and it's like your
Bottom.
hands are sweaty. You're trying to
Knees
play. You
weak,
think, do I
arms are
crack
heavy.
before the thing? You play the song, and every time there's mistakes. The kids make mistakes because the
Yeah.
kids don't practice, and they make mistakes, and it's awkward. And you can tell they get flustered. They're fucking up. The metronome's ding, ding, ding. Oh my god! The rest of the big day.
Yeah, the metronome just doesn't give a fuck about anyone, does it? That thing's just going to keep ticking no matter how
Times
slow.
zero.
Yeah.
So everyone goes, a lot of clapping, even if they fucked up, a lot of clapping. And then Joanne does a little speech, thanks everyone. She's obviously the teacher, her proteges. And then there's a lot of, "Oh, Joanne, play something." And she says, no, it's not
yeah.
about me. I won't be playing. No. Come on, play something. No. Finally, she caves into the pressure. So she would play, and she was fantastic. She was old, but her fingers were slender and flexible. And she was a maestro. She was a musical maestro. She would
She could do it
She's a
all.
genius, and she taught me everything I knew. But on the recital,
Yeah.
she bam.
Oh.
Oh, wait a minute. What is? She would always make a mistake at the piano
Oh.
recital.
Intentional mistake.
The dimension, no. Yeah. Yeah, that's what me and Mum talked about. We're like, she always like fucks up. But she used to play when I was, this is the song we're going to learn. She would play it for me before we do it. And she's nailed it.
Right.
No mistakes. But on the recital day, she'd always make a mistake.
Right.
Ah.
And I think it was so the kids who also made mistakes would see, Oh,
Even the pros.
Joanne made him. And she would make like a bigger thing, like, oh, like stop and like, whoops, sorry about that. Like,
Yeah.
and I think that she would do it to make
That's
sure
so
that
true. That's actually a
Wow.
good point.
the kids who made mistakes would feel like even the teacher did it and I did it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Everyone makes mistakes.
I like
That's why
it.
Joanne is getting the everyday hero.
This is a good one.
Yeah, that was good.
223, hey? That's one to remember.
Absolutely. No, that was really good, Joe. I like that a lot. There we go. So this week's Everyday Hero, episode 223, is going to the musical Maestro for intentionally taking a knee to make the others,
She took a dive in the fifth.
to make everyone else feel like that they...
Everyone makes mistakes and it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Could also be free to make mistakes. Joanne, you winning? Are you still chat to Joanne?
You should add her on Facebook.
No. I try. I don't know what her name is.
You should pull up at her house.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
This week's hero's gone to Joanne. Righty, boys, that just about brings us to the end of another episode of the MacPack podcast.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year incoming. Next episode will be the first one of the new year.
How exciting.
Very keen. We'll be outside for it.
You betcha.
Nice.
We'll be outside for it and we'll be looking back on the year that was 2024. Probably not necessarily going through any like topical week-to-week stuff unless something catastrophic probably takes place. You'd imagine?
Yeah,
Yeah.
unless
What?
yeah, unless something major happens, we have to do it. The people need to know what we think about X.
Yeah, this is true.
But so next week we'll be looking back at probably more or less our journeys over 2024 and what we got up to.
Look
Some
back
behind
at
the
our
scenes.
look back at our New Year's resolutions from last year.
Yes, exactly right. Just one episode where we sort of take stock and go, this is what we did well, this is what we didn't do well. I still remember what the two things that I wanted to do well. I did one of them and the other one
Failed miserably.
failed miserably.
Learn how to make ice cream. Done. Sort out my life, and not yet.
But yeah, there we go. So very exciting indeed. And I hope yours this year, I can't remember, Joe, but I wonder if yours was meditate more because you've just had a big alert, a big reminder pop up. You missed it, but he
Just
had a reminder pop up on his computer during the whole hero just then saying meditation.
Mindfulness. Yeah.
9 p.m. mindfulness. Get
Yeah,
it in.
I've been 183 days straight.
That's wild.
Before that, I was
There we go.
not straight. 138 days straight. Just a bit of wordplay there.
I had no idea where that was going. Very exciting. For next week, indeed.
Let's do it,
Yeah,
baby.
let's get it
Rip in.
done.
Happy New Year's.
Been an absolute pleasure, lads. Thank you so much to everyone who's tuned in. As we mentioned, if you're new to the podcast, firstly, thank you so much for joining us. And if you are looking to recommend a friend, now would be as good a time as ever. Get them to kick off with us next week as we look back on 2024, and then you can start afresh with us in 25. And because a lot of people find one episode a week fantastic, or one on the radio show fantastic. But a lot of people do catch up as well. So they'll sort of listen to it as it comes out, but they'll also go back and so they'll listen to episode 223 and then they'll listen to episode 6. And that seems to be like they play catch up while still getting the live
Yeah,
stuff,
that's what I would do. Yeah.
which we absolutely love. So yeah, bring on 2025, lads.
Let's do it, baby.
Let's go.
All right, additionally, this week on radio as well. So this episode obviously comes out on Friday.
Another plug.
This radio show, probably the most excited I've been to do a show is this one coming up. So
I like the running one.
that was good. We're gonna do our favorite tunes, our top 20 tunes of 2024, and probably just find a few of our funniest stories and things that took place over the year as well. Not so much centered around ourselves, more centered around the world itself.
A year in review before we put it in the rear view.
Oh,
That
nice.
could be a thing
It
that
could
people
be.
say.
That's a lot of words.
Rear end before.
The year end.
Boys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Until we do this time next week, stay safe, stay blessed, and always remember to.
Go give your mum a hug.
It's Jaffa now, but not free.